Welcome to the Yo-11 podcast. Yo-11 podcast, mostly Vegas, no BS casino experience, and more. Today's episode is a drinking game. All right, grab some shots. Every time you hear Boston, Boston Bougie, Raffles Hotel Boston, Boston Sling, and Encore Boston 5th anniversary. You should be nicely toasted by now. Michael Trager is a casino and travel loyalty expert who also helps people turn their travel dreams into reality. And now joining us from, you guessed it, Boston, your host, Michael Trager. How's it going, Michael?
It's going very well. How are you doing?
I am good, man. This is episode 100. Episode triple digits. We hit triple digits, man. What a journey it's been. Well, it started, when did it start? It was like September or October or something. I believe it was September of last year, and now we are 100 episodes strong. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are that we are 100 episodes strong of Yo-11, which is amazing. And on top of that, I believe there are more than 200 episodes of ZorkCast, the original iteration of the podcast, which was I don't know what it was. It changed so many times because, I can never keep to a format. So but 100 episodes for Yo-11 is great. And it seems to me that we might have annoyed some people about our card pulling topic on episode 99. But I assure you that we are very, very far from the people who have discussed that topic before. Actually, we're rather late to the game on discussing it. And I had only brought it up because of that original tweet that I had seen. But it is a topic that has been discussed, I wouldn't say at length, by Bob Dancer on Las Vegas Advisor, as well as Know Your Slots. So it's it's interesting. I think our main point about a lot of this kind of stuff that dances into the world of AP is that it is not really meant for mere mortals and average humans. And while some people can find success from some of these topics, you probably are more likely not to find success for them. But I find that they are very, very much not a secret. So things used to be more of a secret, but they used to not talk about it. Anyway, I'm sorry for anybody that I might have upset with that topic, but the topic has been covered by a lot of people. And honestly, I think it probably should discourage more people than encourage more people to try those kind of things because that kind of stuff needs to mostly be left to the experts. Would you agree with that, Mr. Movestra?
I would absolutely agree. In writing my article, mine was a bit more towards a negative about if it actually works anymore or not. And I because as a slot technician, 'cause they have made improvements to these systems over the years, and as a slot technician, I've seen where you do a readout of a machine where you take your global card and you put it in where people put their players cards, and it will tell you exactly throughout the life of that machine, it knows when it hits a bonus round. And when it knows that, so that when your card is in there and a bonus round pulls up and that person decides to take their card out, it already registered that bonus round. Your session does not end when you pull out the card because it knows a bonus round just triggered and it's going to run that bonus round. So they've come up with ways because they're aware of these things. If it's been spoken about in public at least once and it's on the internet, they know. And so there's constant improvements made. When one of the master slot technicians told me that years ago, and just a few years ago, there weren't that many menu options in the player tracking system that we have access to because they weren't looking at things like that for some time. It's a more recent development now where it's looking at bonus rounds as one of the things that it hits. Not just the coin in and coin out of a person, but how many spins they made, at what variation they bet at, how long they played for, how many bonus rounds they hit, how many jackpots they hit, what kind of a jackpot was it. This is all extremely detailed in those systems, and because it has to be reported to gaming, it has to be reported to the casino itself. So the idea that they won't know that I hit a bonus isn't a thing anymore because it's tracked now.
Well, the thing about it, the topic, I haven't, I've known about these topics, but they usually never filter to something I'm going to discuss until I see somebody on Twitter like at Bill Crackman, bringing up the topic. And obviously, he's got about 50,000 followers on Twitter, and that video he shared about the topic has close to 25,000 views already. And I just thought, it's interesting. I tend to stay away from sharing anything that's very AP unless it's something that's sort of what I consider relatively common knowledge. The other thing that I always say is I never really want to guess whether someone can make something work, something's going to work, or something that is an advantage play or a potential advantage play will work at a given casino or not at a given casino or something like that. I stay very much so on broad topics with that stuff. I don't put anything past anybody. There are very smart people out there who happen upon all kinds of things, and obviously they should not share those things that they happen upon. But a lot of the stuff like AP slots now, whereas I think when it first started out, it was relatively secretive. That's not secretive anymore, and you can tell by the number of slot vultures and people out there that there's just very little secrets. I mean, I think the question is if you're in the business of being an AP, and it very much is a business, and it's like any other business, and probably isn't completely enjoyable. You need to keep one step ahead of everything else, and more power to the people who can do it because it's rather brilliant. But I never second guess what someone will or not be able to be successful at.
Agreed. Agreed. So we have an
And it,
interesting news story today. I mean, as people know, we're both named Michael, but there's also news yet about another Michael, a very popular Michael, who's been deceased now for many years. But MJ Live, which was formerly at Tropicana, is now at Sahara, and it just got extended. So let's get to the news and views. Due to an overwhelming response from fans and critics alike, MJ Live, the celebrated Michael Jackson tribute concert, has announced an extended run at Sahara, Las Vegas. This high-energy show has been captivating audiences with its faithful recreation of the legendary King of Pop's most iconic moments. From executing flawless renditions of signature dance moves like the moonwalk to belting out classic hits such as Bad, Billie Jean, and Beat It. The performers recreate the magic of Michael Jackson's unforgettable concerts. Each number is meticulously choreographed to capture the essence of the original performances, ensuring that the legend's spirit continues to thrive on stage. Previously hosted at the Tropicana, MJ Live relocated to Sahara after the former's closure. The move has allowed the show to expand its production scale and incorporate even more of Jackson's hits, including a beloved segment dedicated to the Jackson 5. Audiences are treated to nostalgic harmonies with songs like I'll Be There, I Want You Back, ABC, and others, all performed with a vibrancy that transports them back in time. To express gratitude to the local community for their support, Nevada residents are being offered a special 40% discount on regular ticket prices. This exclusive deal is available when tickets are purchased in person at the Sahara Theater box office, which is open daily from 1 to 9 p.m., except on select non-performance days. Proof of residency with a valid ID is required to avail of the discount, valid through September 15th. This extended run not only honors Michael Jackson's immense contribution to music and dance, but also solidifies MJ Live's reputation as a must-see show in Las Vegas. That's going to do it for the news. And now for the views. Michael, what are your thoughts?
I love that idea of the beloved segment dedicated to the Jackson 5. I think it's great, and it does show, it does show when something is successful that it moves to another property. I also love that idea of the Las Vegas locals special, but I think, love him, don't love him, Michael Jackson is iconic and probably makes a lot of sense. And also they know that they were selling tickets to the show, so the production was successful. And I've got to believe that moving a successful production from one venue to another venue is not as bad as starting a new production for
Right.
something which you have no idea if it'll be successful. So it makes a lot of sense for me. It's also probably really good for really good for Sahara, actually. So I mean, that's cool. I mean, nobody talks about Sahara much. Why is that?
Well, the most recent thing to come out about Sahara is that uh, it looks like this is a rumor, just from people I've known, who I spoke to actually just yesterday, who've been there, that it looks like they're getting ready to charge for parking, which is kind of a thing because it was like they were offering free parking, but they got the things installed it, and they're still saying it's free, but it looks like not for long, I don't think.
That's sort of interesting. But it's getting to the point where free parking can really distinguish you. Does the Strat now charge for parking too?
Yeah.
See, I'm horrible. You write the articles on these things, and I don't pay attention to them. Sorry, but it's just very the part. Vegas and parking is just so. It's like when you see somebody who wants a value-oriented hotel, and they say, "I want a hotel with free parking and no resort fee," and you're like, yeah.
Even Motel 6 has a resort fee. I mean, there's really, I don't think there's anything that can be
Well,
done
no,
about
no.
that.
The one that doesn't have a resort fee is the one that's at Casino Royale, the hotel there. Is that a Best Western?
Yeah, that's a Best Western.
That has no resort fee. Also, Virgin has no resort fee. Like a virgin.
Are you sure? That's interesting. I'll have to look back on that. I know it's in the article.
Look that up. I'm pretty sure. Now that might have changed recently because remember, Virgin's had all this stuff with Mohegan and everything. But I think Virgin is no longer charging a resort fee. Obviously, we heard about Golden Nugget doing their promotion. But you know what? Check Virgin out because that was an interesting one that I heard. And of course, I didn't fact check it, but I had no reason to believe the person telling me it wasn't accurate about it because most people are like hella accurate about that kind of stuff. So it is cool. So anyway, I'm here in Boston at the newest 5-star luxury hotel in Boston, which is the Raffles Hotel, which is absolutely lovely. One of the nicest hotels in Boston. It is a completely new build. This space was vacant for about 10 years, and they built a hotel and residences. That's quite a common thing. And you have a wonderful arrival at the Raffles. So today's tease is on the Raffles, and you're going to see how I arrived at my suite. In addition, Raffles is a famous brand. They are known for the Raffles Singapore as well as Raffles hotels around the world. But this is the first Raffles hotel in the United States. And there will be more to come, but that is pretty important.
All right, let's get on to the tease.
So I got to the hotel and I was introduced to my butler. They do beautiful check-in in a seated lobby area, and he brought me up to my suite. And this is how it went.
Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
First, so let me ask you first, have you ever tried a Singapore Sling, the cocktail?
I just had one.
Oh, perfect. So that was actually invented at the original Raffles Hotel at their bar in Singapore. So the story goes in 1915 at the time in Singapore, it was frowned upon for ladies to enjoy alcohol in public. It's considered not ladylike, of course, nonsense by today's standards. So the head bartender at the time, he essentially invented the cocktail to disguise it as a fruit juice, like a fruit punch. So in honor of that history, each different Raffles hotel worldwide has their own local spin on the cocktail. So we have for you today the Boston Sling. It rather than the tropical ingredients in a traditional Singapore Sling, it's also gin based, but we've incorporated some more local fruit. So it has a house-made cranberry compote, some apple shrub, and 3 different liqueurs: an Amaro Nonino, some pomegranate liqueur, and a splash of Drambuie.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That sounds great. I love that. So, but the one that I had downstairs, was that the Boston version?
You may have had the Singapore Sling. Both are on the menu at the Long Bar.
Oh, okay. So do you call this one the Boston Sling?
Boston Sling, yes.
Okay. Okay. So I did have a Singapore Sling downstairs. So now I'm having a Boston
Perfect.
Sling.
Yes. So the original Singapore Sling is also gin based, but it's some Benedictine, some orange liqueur, cherry brandy, pineapple juice, and lime juice. So ours is a bit more East Coast US flavors. Yeah, a bit more crushed ice here for you.
That's awesome.
That
What are
looks
in there?
delightful.
Pomegranate seeds.
Pomegranates,
So there's
okay.
a pomegranate liqueur in there.
It is.
House-made cranberry compote, some apple shrub, some drambuie, and a splash of Amaro onion.
Thank you.
Cheers. Enjoy it.
Alrighty. Well, that looked delightful.
It was great. And this is a beautiful suite. And isn't that cool, the whole story of the entire Singapore Sling. So I wanted to do a little tour of the room, and let's see if I can do it. Here we are. So we've got a beautiful view. This is the suite. This is the suite living room. Really quite nice. Look at that bar here. Pretty nifty, right?
Mm-hmm.
They also gave me a Boston cream pie, which I've not eaten yet.
Oh my
But
goodness.
really cool.
Nice.
I know. Oh my God. I'll show. This is just for you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And a little story of Boston cream pie, and just a really beautiful bar. That's the entrance hallway. And I don't know what's here. I didn't see what this door was here. This is nothing. Maybe it was a connecting room. Oh my God. I didn't even know there was a guest bathroom.
Oh, look at that.
That's crazy. Oh, wow. There is a guest bathroom behind these amazing doors here.
I thought it was a
Who would've
closet, to be
thought?
honest with you. I thought it was like maybe an extra
I
closet
know,
or something.
the
Wow.
way that it looks just like a closet. That's so crazy. And then we go over here to the lovely bedroom. Look at that. The details are extraordinary.
Wow.
Look at, well, not only the views, but look how nice the furniture is. Look
Yeah.
at that table. Look at that table. They love to twirl my cords. It is really great. All the controls by the bed, all your charging things, proper USB-C, but just all of the artwork and everything is really pretty darn spectacular. I also love that they have all of these books, a great TV with soundbar,
Mm-hmm.
all of these lovely books. They're real big on the Saratoga water, which is really, really nice. And just really, really well done. I mean, quite impressive. I might be able to do it a little bit broader right there, so you can see. And we'll swing around. There's a beautiful closet. And here is the bathroom. Huge tub. Lovely flowers. I love flowers.
Oh, I like that because they give you the option of this wonderful shower, where they also give you a tub. So it's kind of like they did what Wynn did, but instead of making it two separate bathrooms because they assume that women don't take showers, they actually have the choice of this in this bathroom right here, which is very nice.
Yeah, and so I have an obsession with, just to give you I have an obsession with writing pads. So I wrote a little note to housekeeping that I wanted some extra writing pads, and they misread my note. And I just noticed this. They have filled the amenity.
Oh no. Oh no. For those of you who are listening to the audio podcast of this, there is a large variety of maxi pads that Mr. Trager has been blessed with.
To give you an idea of the pads that I like, I was talking about these pads, the writing pads. Oh. I was so funny because I got back and I'm like, I can't believe the maid didn't leave me extra pads. I just noticed the pads. I now have many, many maxi
But there you go.
pads. So anyway, it's a lovely room. By the way, beautiful minibar. Down over here. I love this. But you know, the
Nice.
details, I'm going to show you one other detail, which I thought was really, really cool. Not only are they really into their tea, but I want you to see, they give you here little timers for your tea.
Oh, look at that.
So that's for a 3-minute brew. So it's different times. So you can see how that says 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
That is so cool. Do they have any of those in the gift shop? I would get myself one of those things. I don't even make tea. It just looks cool.
You know what? I'm gonna get you one. But isn't that the coolest thing? I've never seen that in a hotel before. So you can properly brew your tea. So I thought
Wow.
that's really, and there's a great espresso machine and all of that. But I thought that was so cool. I just was like, that's super cool. Anyway, that's a little idea of the suite. So that's the suite. This is a beautiful luxury hotel. It is part of a great luxury program by Encore, which is the luxury program for Raffles is with Encore. Luxury program includes the usual stay benefit as well as a wonderful breakfast benefit daily, which you can use for in-room dining. And it's a great hotel. We will do another video talking about the hotel. It is in Back Bay. You check in on the 17th floor. Really sweeping, really amazing. But in addition, yesterday, I went to Encore Boston Harbor, and it was the 5th anniversary of Encore Boston Harbor. And the actual day yesterday, June 23rd, was the 5th anniversary, and I met my son and some of his friends for dinner at Rare Steakhouse. So I just wanted to share with you a couple of pictures from my wonderful visit to Encore Boston Harbor.
Looks like you have some good looking food over there. This is nice.
Yes. And my son actually shared a tomahawk, a dry aged long bone tomahawk with his friend.
Wow.
And that is some steak. One of the things that we love about Encore Boston Harbor in general and Rare Steakhouse is the fact that they are very good to people who are gluten free. So my son is gluten free, has celiac, very, very sensitive. Not only do they have their own gluten free fryer, but they make some of the best gluten free French fries. And they also actually have gluten free bread, though the bread pictured is not the gluten free bread.
Mm.
So they also have this thing called a trio of sides. And when you see the sides, you might notice that there were only 2 of them because the mushrooms we asked to be made gluten-free, so those were segregated. But it was really great, and it was great to spend time and go to Encore Boston Harbor, and it was lovely.
I like the little happy birthday thing. It looks like it's on a stick of butter, but is that was that a stick of butter or was that on something else?
No, it is a little cake, but that happy
Ah.
birthday is actually chocolate that you eat.
Oh, cool. Okay. Wow,
So
that's
that is,
nice. That is beautiful.
yeah,
Wow,
pretty
that
cool.
holy crap. That's their casino? Jeez. With that
Is
wonderful
it beautiful?
stairway. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Isn't it beautiful? This
It
is the
is.
end of Roger. Remember, we talked about Roger Thomas. This is the final Roger Thomas design. And I finished things up with that 5th anniversary flowers. But is that beautiful? Is that a beautiful casino or what? Those chandeliers came from Encore Las Vegas,
Oh,
those red
really?
chandeliers.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a beautiful casino. And a couple of interesting things from that casino visit, which are interesting. So I actually had brought money and prepared to gamble. And I was so tired because I was in New Hampshire working on the storage unit with the movers and everything
Mm-hmm.
that I actually decided I was too tired to gamble, even though there was a $15 craps table and there was more than enough space. I just decided I was too tired to gamble. And since I wasn't staying there, I didn't feel I had to really gamble. So I decided to just come back and call it an early night. But I think this is the first time in my life I've ever withdrawn money from an ATM and not gambled. So that's but you know what, I just was tired, and I think gambling while you're tired. Another really interesting thing is they have a black card lounge. They do not have a lounge in Las Vegas for black card, and they have an alternating menu. It's a very nice lounge, lovely space. It was in a, I forgot what the space was originally, but it was another lounge when Encore first opened. What's so interesting though is I did a status match in Las Vegas to win black, and even though my card is win black and they can see I am win black status in Las Vegas, Encore still considers me win platinum. So they would not let me enter the lounge.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know if it's a fluke or not, but I asked them about it at the desk and they said, yep, you're definitely win black in Las Vegas, but here we consider you platinum, which was my earned status. I don't know if that's consistent with anything else. I think that's a little bit wonky. It doesn't get me really upset because I haven't earned win black, but I thought that now I have a feeling if you earn win black, actually, I'm sure of it. If you earn win black, you appear as win black at both Las Vegas and Encore Boston Harbor. But the fact that I did not earn it and I status matched it, Encore Boston Harbor still sees my earned status. So it's good. This
Ah.
is no problem for people who actually earn win black, but more so for the status match people. Does this make a difference? Probably not to anybody, not to many people, because not that many people are matching. But I just thought that was something interesting to bring up. And one final story was the crazy Uber driver I got. So I got, I think, cab driver. Movesto, have you ever had any interesting cab driver stories?
Between New York and Las Vegas, yeah, I had a one crazy Uber one for sure. I can about out here, absolutely, just holy crap. But yes, I have. But looking forward to hearing yours.
Well, he was telling me everyone used to win so much money at Encore, but they don't seem to be winning so much money at Encore Boston anymore. But he said he got a guy in his Uber about 2 years ago who sat in the front of the Uber and proceeded to put all of the money that he won on the dashboard, and it was wraps of 5 and 10 thousand, and it was about $100,000 he put on the dashboard. And the Uber driver was funny. He's like I don't want to see somebody's money on my dashboard. And he's like, and that's just so, and I was like, of course, and that's so strange to do because who wants to flaunt that you have $100,000 on you? But he was like, there's the crazy thing ever. I was telling him, put your money away, I mean, it's just, who does that? I have never heard of somebody doing that before. Would you even think to put all of your wraps of money on the windshield of your Uber
No,
as he's driving you home?
no. And and as someone who's done Uber for a while, not out here, but I can tell you, if someone took like bundles of cash and put it on my dashboard, they were making us a target, and I've been like, you need to remove that money, or we're going to have you leave the vehicle because that you don't do that. You don't do that.
Yeah, I thought that was. He's like, it was the craziest thing I ever saw. So I totally believe the guy because it was just that kind of thing. So that's about everything for today. I know we've shared a lot. We always want to hear your comments. So let us know what you think. Beautiful new hotel in Boston. Unfortunately, like all the luxury 5-star hotels in Boston, it's a pretty pricey hotel. The average room rate for regular rooms is somewhere north of the $600 or $700 range. So it might be out of budget for a lot of people, but I know a lot of people are interested in these luxury properties. And sometimes, like what Four Seasons does, they do have a free night promotion or other things. So I think it's still cool to look at. But unfortunately, Boston is one of the more expensive luxury cities. It's one of the more expensive cities in general, which actually, from casino offers, if you can consider the fact that Encore Boston Harbor is a little bit out of the city, is probably one of the better deals for a great room. And a fun fact, if you consider Encore Boston Harbor Boston, they actually have the largest standard luxury rooms in Boston.
Wow, that is good to know. And it seems like a great property, Brent. Does it still have that like new resort smell to it, that freshly opened smell?
It still is really quite nice. I've heard little grumblings from people about things, but it's hard to know. Property still looks super nice to me. I think Rare Steakhouse is good. I've heard from some people that they haven't always had the best experience there. I've always had a good experience at Rare. I have to say, I probably like Rare even more than SW. But I mean, this is splitting hairs. It's a great steakhouse. So that's what I
Wow.
got for you today. And now tonight at Raffles, they have a new restaurant, which I will share when we do the formal review of Raffles at some point. We're going on our little bit of a hiatus now after episode 100, probably for at least a week or two, but supposed to be one of the best new Italian restaurants in Boston here at Raffles. So I will be sharing that on a future episode, but I will be also sharing on social media. If you follow Travel Zork on Instagram, I share a lot on my Instagram stories about these trips.
All right, cool. And also be sure to share your thoughts on that Boston cream pie. I'm curious to know how good it is. Because I mean, if you're gonna get a Boston cream pie anywhere, Boston is the place. So from what I hear. Alrighty, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Luxury travel booking, travelzork.travel. Visit us at travelzork.travel to plan your next amazing vacation, and please join the conversation on social media. You can find us easily. All social platforms are at TravelZork. We'll see you next time.